What is going on, everybody? Mr. Z-Dog Swag here, coming to you with our draft recap for Season 6 of the CPBA. And I'm very excited to be bringing this to you. I've not been on YouTube in a long time, and I know people have been wondering, if I'm going to do YouTube this season. I'm thinking about it. Possibly, I'm going to have a really tight schedule, but I think maybe on the weekends I'll be able to get some stuff recorded, and we'll see what we can go from there. But in any case, we had a very awful draft order yet again. It always seems like I'm the victim to bad draft placement, so I was 7th out of 14, which is pretty much about as bad as you can get. Like, you can't guarantee any picks that you're getting because you have to go through a full 14 people before you get to pick again, and you can't really string your mons together. Now, on the other hand, of thinking about that, it just seems like I did an okay job at making my team pretty, cohesive. So I'll just go over that with you guys, let you know what I'm thinking, and we'll just have some fun together and just take a look at what we got. So the first thing I drafted, actually I was wanting a different one of the what do you call these ones? They're not the birds, but like the Univa, I don't know what their trio name is. The genies, yeah. I wanted Landorus Therian because after Ultra Sun and Moon came out, a lot of mons got defog that did not have defog before. Now, despite Tornadus Therian getting defog, which it didn't have before, I really wanted Landorus, but didn't get it. I think it went the one right before me, I believe. So couldn't pick up Landorus, but in any case, I did get Tornadus, and I've never actually used Tornadus. I don't even think I've used it in like OU, like laddering and such. So I know it's a really good mon just because of how well people play it against me, and just in Rambats every once in a while I'll get it. But it is a really good mon. It's always nice to have Regenerator, and as you'll see later, I kind of have sort of a Regenerator sort of a core on my team. But in any case, it's got a lot of coverage, which is something that I really like stressing is options. I like being able to go back and forth, from week to week, having something different every time. It's got a lot of options. It's got bulk up. It's got agility. You don't really need agility because it's so fast already. But in case you need to outspeed some, Scarfers or whatever, you got agility there. Bulk up is something that I liked on Mew last season because I could set something up, and what I would do is I would pretty much, I wouldn't invest in these two stats, and if I needed special attack, I'd use it, but mostly I just invest in special attack or special defense and speed if I wanted sort of a bulky offense mon. It's got Crunch and Dark Pulse for some dark coverage. It's got Defog now, which it did not have before, which is great. I don't think my team has trouble with hazard removal, but having another defogger on this team really helps a lot. So, and I don't really think my team is like even like susceptible to hazards, but I enjoy having defog options. I'm glad that Tornadus got defog as well. Let's see what else it got there. Heat Wave is nice for some fire coverage. Knockoff's probably second best move in the game. It's also got poison coverage too, which is nice. Tailwind and Taunt and U-Turn are another two big things for this mon. Icy Wind, I actually didn't know it got that. That's interesting. Maybe I'll have to use that sometime. But overall, it's just a really good mon. Stats are really good across the board. HP is a little bit lacking, but I mean, if you think about it, 80, 80, 90 defenses is pretty good, and then 100, 110, 121 offensive is really good too. And having that 121, making it outspeed 120s is really nice, especially in League format because speed creeping is huge. So glad to have Tornadus Therian. I thought of Captain Feathersword kind of like as a childhood memory there. But going for all these nicknames, these are just kind of what I thought of like right off the top of my head. So if you guys have any recommendations for some nicknames that are appropriate, then just let me know in the comment section, and I'll see if I can put them on. Next we got Steph Curry, Chef Curry, whatever you want to call him, or Infernape, and I've used Infernape a couple times, not in League format, but I enjoy using it. I enjoyed using it especially in UU when it was there. I don't know if it's in UU or not anymore. Is it? Yeah, it's still in UU. Okay, so But anyway, I wanted a good fire type, something I have kind of been lacking the past couple seasons. I know I had Rapidash was my main fire type one season, and I'm like, I can't do that again. So I went with a nice, fast, offensive fire type with good fighting stab too. I like this mon because it's very reliable. You can do pretty much anything you want with it. You can even go, physical. You go special with Nasty Plot. It's got Overheat, Poison Jab for fairies. It's even got Stealth Rocks, which is nice too. U-turn, nice for pivoting. Pretty much just really good mon. I enjoy using Infernape. It's one of my favorite mons. Actually, my first time I played through Gen 4 games, I used Infernape. And you know, especially fighting like all the Abomasnows and Snovers and whatever Snow City it is. Like, you know, just using this thing to like totally wipe it out is so fun. And like I said, it's got really good offensive stats. A little bit lackluster in the defense. But that was kind of like my thing. Like going into this, I thought hyper offense was going to be a decent idea. And then like as my draft started to go along, I started to get a little bit bulkier and bulkier and bulkier. So really, these defenses are going to be made up later on with the ones I got coming. So and another thing, it's got Iron Fist too, which is nice to have for its punching moves. So good Infernape here. I got Steph Curry. I kind of like that because, you know, Curry, fire, you know, he's, you know, he cashes out, you know, stuff like that. So, I don't know. You know, give me some other stuff for Infernape there, too. Next we got Nidoking, and I've used Nidoking once in league format. It was like a 4-week league. It wasn't really too much of anything. But Nidoking's really good, in my opinion. It's very balanced, as you can see. It's mostly known for special attacking because it's got its sheer force here, and it's very as you can see, like it's just got a ton of good moves. Coverage is great. You can go physical or special. Special you usually use sheer force. Physical you can use like Choice Bandit kind of stuff like that too. So I like its versatility, and that's what makes me like it a lot. Like all this, like it's got Ice Beam, Flamethrower coverage. Shadow Ball, it's got Surf, Thunderbolt, you know, stuff like that too. So really good mon. I got OG data because I've heard OG Mama for. Actually no, OG Mama was Rhydon, so maybe I'll have to get a new nickname for Nidoking. People ask me, you know, why didn't I get Nidoqueen, because I was a little bit lacking on the defense. And I think like Nidoqueen is good, but I think at this point I was wanting to establish my offensive core. So these first 3 picks were made like my main offensive threats that I'll be using most often. So like I said, the defense is coming, and as well as you can see here, we got Shaman. I was looking for a bulky grass type to kind of go with along with Infernape, and I was looking at Celebi. I was thinking about maybe getting like a lower tier one like Vileplume, and then just looking at it, I really didn't want Vileplume because Shaman pretty much beats Vileplume in every single category. Like there's really nothing that it beats the Vileplume beats Shaman in. So I went with Shaman. I was really close to doing Celebi, but I thought about it and said if I want a bulky grass type, then I need one without so many weaknesses. So I went with Shaman, just a pure grass type. And I like Shaman. It's not as versatile as maybe Celebi would be, but it does the job well. It's got Leech Seed, which is one of the main things when I'm looking for in a bulky grass type. It's got a little bit of coverage. It's got Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash. It's got Seed Flare, which is his special move. So good stuff like that. It's a nice Toxic Staller if you make it that, and it can get out of toxic stuff pretty easily with Natural Cure. So I like them on. It's hundreds all around, and so I'm glad to have Shaman. I've actually never used Shaman. I've used it in a couple like UU ladderings, but other than that, I haven't really done too much else with Shaman. This whole draft, I was kind of thinking of stuff like I could use that I haven't really used before, just to get used to it, and you know, stuff like that. So kind of just, I think this season's gonna be fun, just because I'll be learning my mons as I go through. I got Sonic Speed. I think I'm gonna keep this one because I like, you know, it's Hedgehog and, you know, Sonic and kind of a memey sort of a name. So I think I'm gonna keep Sonic Speed, but we'll see about that. Then we got Fatfish, and I immediately after going with my my bulky grass, I went with the bulky water. Now, Alomomola is probably one of my least favorite Pokemon all time, and it's probably because I've never actually used it, and it's only because I've been facing it. I was gonna get, I was thinking about getting Vaporeon. I like Vaporeon. What was the other one I was thinking of? There's another one. Oh, Mega Blastoise. I was thinking about getting Mega Blastoise for another Rapid Spinner. But I ended up going with Alomomola because somebody convinced me to. And actually it really fits my team pretty well. It goes really well with the Tornadus Therian here, with the Regenerator, so it's really nice. I hate Wish. Wish is probably one of my least favorite moves in the game, but I think maybe if I have it on my team, it's be okay. I'm not really used to using Wish, so I kind of have to get used to the mind games a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good Toxic Stall. I mean, it's got a million HP. It's got access to Knockoff, which is nice. It's got screens, Calm Mind if you're really wanting to do that, Healing Wish if you're, desperate. But pretty good mon overall. It's got like I said, it's got a huge HP stat, decent defense stat that goes with it. I mean, if you got, this is like the opposite of Blissey, like, the pink fat thing that has a million HP and then actually has a decent defense stat. So, and it's actually a decent in speed. It's not fast by any means, but it's faster than most defensive threats like this. So, being able to toxic this thing and being able to wish up first is nice. So, we'll see how Alomomola does. Like I said, I was convinced to take it. So we'll see what it does. I got Fatfish. I couldn't think of anything else. So, but in any case, that's Alomomola there. And then we got Latios, and I was doing the math, and I had enough points to get another Tier 1. And actually, we split our Tier 1s into 2 tiers. We had Tier 1A and Tier 1B. Tornadus was Tier 1A, and surprisingly, Infernape was Tier 1B. So I had a little bit. If I played my points right, I could get Latias, and it was like the last thing along with Kartana and Magikarp for the Tier 1s or whatever. So I decided to get Latias. It's another defogger. It's a Dragon type, and as you'll see later, I got two kind of cores. I got Fire Water Grass, and then I got a Dragon Steel Fairy core coming here a little bit later. Starting with Latios, so really good mon. The more defensive of the Lati twins, really good special defense stat, which I was kind of needing at this point. Really good speed, 110, good special attack. Defense is fine as well. And I just like this mon. I mean, it's pretty versatile. Like another thing, it's got access to Thunderbolt, Surf. It's got Shadow Ball. It's got Ice Beam and such like that too. So. And again, Defog and Calm Mind is some support stuff or whatever there too. So I really like Latios. I've never used it in League format, but I've used it a ton in OU. So we'll see how that one does there. Search and Rescue. There's like this one song from like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or whatever. It's like GlitchxCity song, and like Latios was on the cover of it or something like that. So that's just kind of what I kind of went after it. So give me another nickname for Latios if you can think of another one. Alright, so this is the first part of my team. And the second part of my team, and we're going to kick it off with a little backstory. This should not be here because I originally had Alolan Raichu. Now, I drafted Alolan Raichu because I really didn't want to have to get Jolteon again. Jolteon's been in my team for the last including this one. Jolteon's been on my team the last 4 seasons of the CPBA. It's been in pretty much in every single one of my leagues except for like one. And I really like Jolteon. But I was convinced myself, no, I'm going to have a completely new team. I'm going to do a lot of new mons. And I actually had a psychic weakness up until this point. So I thought, maybe Raichu's going to be the option. But no! Mayhem the Jolteon is coming back. And I know exactly what I'm naming this thing because, nostalgia and, everybody in the league is going to go wild when they see, Mayhem hit the field and totally wreck them, Especially you, Kirby. I'm coming for you. In any case, I love Jolteon. It's probably It's probably consistently one of my favorite mons. It's pretty much the same thing every week. It's either, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball or Signal Beam, and then a Hidden Power or whatever. I like it because it has access to Heal Bell too. If you want to get gimmicky, you can go with Quick Feet stuff, Baton Pass, all that kind of stuff too. So, love Jolteon. Really good speed, good attack. Glad to have it back on the team. I actually did have to waste a free agent for it though, so I'm only got 2 free agents and 3 trades if I ever so want to do that kind of stuff. So, but in any case, we're glad to have Jolteon back. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the CPBA are glad too. And actually, really, I was surprised it went undrafted. This draft was like really strong. Like, I think splitting tier 1 up into 2 tiers was like a big thing because not very many people had very many tier 5s, which like I saw a lot of last season. Like, there was some people that had like 3 or 4 tier 5s just because they had so much power at the top of their draft. So, but that kind of evened it out this one because it was a 20-point difference, and that 20 points is the difference between tier 5 and tier 4. So, really strong drafts. I hope mine stacks up decently well. But in any case, moving on, we got P2, and I've used P2 a little bit, just in like some UU stuff, but I like them on. It's really fat. I like it because it's got Eviolite, access to trace and download. Not really much analytic, but if you really want to, I guess you could. It's really good at dishing out status. It's got the pretty random tri-attack sort of a scheme, and it's got Toxic and T-Wave there too. You can really pull a lot of stuff with it. It's not one of my Z-Mons, so I can't use the conversion kind of stuff. I really wasn't planning on doing that anyway, but you can't do that in this league because they did ban it after its pretty much broken thing last season. But it's a really good mon. It's pretty much a defensive mon. You're not going to see me run too many offensive Porygon 2s. But having download really helps it a lot because if you do need that extra special attack boost, you can get it pretty consistently depending on what the other defense stat is there. So good to have P2. I like it because it's a nice bulky normal type. It can take a lot of hits, which is good. So, and then we got Diancie, and I love Diancie. Diancie is one of my favorite mons. After it was released, I played with it a lot in OU and UU, wherever it was, because it's just really good. It's got 100 attacks, it's got 150s defenses. Speed's a little lacking, but you really don't need much speed when you got 150 defenses. So pretty much you're gonna be taking a lot of hits if it's neutral or not very effective or whatever. It's got a lot of good. Not a lot of good, but decent amount of coverage. It's got the rock stuff or whatever. It's got what's it called, Diamond Storm, which is nice. You get a 50% chance to raise your defense, which is always really good. Gyro Ball for some stuff. Light Screen, Moonblast, pretty standard. And it's another Heal Bell mon too, so it can be a cleric for me if I want it to be. Echo stuff, Stealth Rocks and Toxic stuff and that stuff too. So. Good Diancie. I got Gemini for its nickname. Just kind of, it's a gem, kind of a girlish name. It looks kind of like that, I guess. I don't know. Oh, and another thing too, NCIS Ducky. I think I'm going to keep that one because I had CSI Miami last season for Tapu Fini. Was that last season? It must have been last season, was it? Maybe it was 2 seasons ago. I actually don't remember. Huh. Because I had, let's see. Maybe it was last season. Was it last? I really don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But in any case, there's been 2 nicknames for theirs. Making another appearance. I used it in the YouTube League, and I really liked it actually. It kind of came clutch as one of my favorite mons to use. Masquerain. It was tier 5, but it really gives me some options. It has a lot of decent coverage. For being a tier 5, it has Quiver Dance, which is nice. It's got U-turn pivoting. The main thing is Sticky Web. Now my team's not overly slow, but a couple Mons could use some sticky web. Like if I want to use it with like Porygon 2 or something like that. Especially like Nidoking, because it's not the fastest thing ever. So that just that little bit of a boost like might help it out just a little bit. It also gives me a little bit of intimidate pressure I can put on it. I mean, stats aren't crazy, but I mean, you know, once you get a Quiver Dance up, you know, you're sitting okay. So I like Masquerain. That's kind of why I drafted it. So that's kind of like the only, other than Mayhem, that I got for free agent. This is like the only like one of my returning Mons for Masquerain. I got Eyebrows because I kind of like, you know, kind of lines right here. Kind of looks like that one's got to change. So let me know what you want Masquerain to be named. Then we got Cryogonal, and I've never used this outside of a playthrough. I used it in a Black 2 playthrough I did like a long time ago when I first started playing Mons. But I like it because it's another Rapid Spinner, and the funniest thing that I found out about Cryogonals is it got defog, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. It already has Rapid Spin. How the heck is it going to defog? I mean, it's a snowflake. I mean, it'd blow itself away. You know, so I thought that was just the dumbest thing, like why you'd have to add defog to it. But it's got access to freeze dry. Not the greatest coverage. I mean, I don't think that's really going to be its job, though. Its job's going to be rapid spin, maybe set up some screens, you know, recover, toxic, stuff like that, too. So I kind of like Cryogonal. It gives me a nice type. A Roller Veil, too. You know, if I'm finding myself against Alolan Ninetales, you know, I can set up a Roller Veil of my own, which is kind of nice. So in any case, then we got our final Mon, and I waited till the end to get my Mega because everybody else had taken their Mega like first or second round. There was like 2 people that hadn't taken their Mega. I said, you know, do you want a Mega Aggron? And they're like, nah. He's like, I want Mega Scizor, and the other was like, nah, I want Mega Gyarados or whatever. So I said, all right, I'm just gonna wait till the end, and I'm gonna get my Mega Aggron. So we got Baby Steel here. I kind of like that name. I might keep that one. But it's got a lot of decent coverage, which is nice. It's got a good attack stat, it's 140 attack, and then a massive 230 defense stat. Special defense is a little bit lacking, but that can be compensated for, you know, it's just major defense stat, and you can, you know, buff this up as much as you want, which is kind of nice. This gives me another rocker. Filter's really nice because it takes a lot of hits. They're super effective. The other one, Dragon Tail. It's nice to have a phaser on the team. You know, it's so heavy, so Heavy Slam does a lot of damage. It's just a really good Mon. Decent toxic stalling, can T-wave some stuff. But I like Mega Aggron. I haven't used it. Like I've seen like other people use it and like do really well with it. Like it seems like if you have Mega Aggron, like you succeed for some reason. Like A-Drive had Mega Aggron one season. There was another guy in a league that I had seen before. He had Mega Aggron, and he just murdered with it. And so I think, Mega Aggron's just kind of got like a special, special sort of thing or whatever. And it was a point reducing Mon. It, subtracted 40 points from my total. So it allowed me to get another, it actually allowed me to get Jolteon because I had Raichu was a tier 4, and it was a 40 point difference between tier 4 and tier 3. So I was able to get Jolteon because of Baby Steel here. So glad to see it. But in any case, just looking at these two drafts, I can't really see too much wrong with it. I mean, there's some holes in there, definitely. I mean, I have some trouble with ghost types. If I find, really strong ghost type, one thing that I'm scared of is Blacephalon. I was actually thinking about getting it over Infernape, but I decided not to because I'm like, well, the last time I drafted a Ultra Beast and Kartana, it just kind of got stopped very easily. But I guess this Blacephalon, if you don't have Tyranitar, you're in trouble. So hopefully I can find a way to get around that maybe. Hopefully Diancie can pull through for me there. But overall, I mean, I have decent. I've got decent hazard removal. I got 1, 2. I don't know if you get it or not, but 3. So I got 3 decent removers. These two, Tornadus and Latios, will be coming to most matches. So I think I'll have a reliable Mon to come each time. And then Cryogonal, and some odd matches where Cryogonal comes, I could use Rapid Spin on that one. I have a lot of ways to set up stuff. Infernape can set up rocks. Nidoking can set up rocks. Gemini, Diancie can set up rocks. And Mega Aggron can too. So I got stuff to put up. I don't really have too much else other than Stealth Rocks. I don't think you don't get like. I don't think these guys get spikes. No, I'm pretty sure they don't get spikes. The only other thing is like Toxic Spikes from Nidoking. But that's pretty much it. So pretty much rocks is gonna be what I'm dealing with. I don't think my team's like overly weak to rock either. Like I got 1, 2, 3 like that are weak to rocks. So it's not too much of a problem. I'm just kind of trying to go through like all the types or whatever. Normal types, you know, they hurt me a bit, but I mean I got Gemini and Mega Aggron. So normally, unless I run into like Exploud, which I don't think Exploud was drafted, then you know I'm pretty good. So actually, I remember last season I got totally blown back by an Exploud, which you know was not good. But in any case, I think I got a decent amount of offense, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish mons for offense, and then the rest is kind of like defense and cleric sort of stuff. So I kind of like that. Each mon has its own niche, which is good. So hopefully this team works out. I'm excited to see what happens with it. Leave your comments down below saying what spot you think I'm going to be in if I make the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to do like the 8-man playoffs like we did last season, but we'll see what happens. But in any case, thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and comment for some nicknames for my mon. So I got a good nickname stuff there. But in any case, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Peace out.